It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
You know, folks, every day if you're watching Channel 13, you'll see me doing a promo telling you I interview artists, I interview authors, and I'm here to keep you informed. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today, folks. Part of these shows that I'm doing, the Sam Lesante Show, is to keep you informed. And once again, I want to welcome all the viewers that we have in Monterey City, Delano, Tamaqua, hometown, pretty soon Shenandoah, so I appreciate you all tuning in. We're going to keep you informed today. Remember, folks, one of the things we try to do is keep you informed with facts. I always give you my email at sam@ssptv.com, only because if you have something to say, email me, and I deal with facts. I have no personal agenda. Sometimes we expose some people for what they are. It's nothing personal, it's only factual. Speaking of facts, we have today the Superintendent of the Hazleton Area School District, Frank Antonelli, and the man who has the purse strings, Tony Ryba. Gentlemen, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
No, it's a busy time. You got school starting, and I know you're going on vacation. You don't care. You're just sitting, doing nothing. No, it's going to be a busy time. I want to just start with Tony a minute. Tony, we're talking about a budget of 123 million. 123 million. Just so our viewers understand, sometimes how critical it is to administer. Of 123 million, break that down. That's already fixed, and then what we have control of.
Of the 123 million, about 45% of that is for salaries for our staff. And staff is all staff, teachers, administrators, support staff, custodians, secretaries, paraprofessionals, cafeteria workers, security. That's about 45%. Our benefits are about maybe 25% of that. So salary and benefits is about 70% of our budget. And then the next largest item is our debt service, our payments for our bonds and all of our loans, which is about 9%. So about 79% of our budget is salary, benefits, and debt service.
So basically then what we get to play with as far as manageability would be around $25 million, okay?
Yes.
All right. So therefore the administration and cost savings or whatever we do is in that factor, okay? Frank, there are so many things we could talk about what's happening, but I wanted to talk about some of the things that are fresh in people's mind. The STEM school, okay? Let's talk about that. The updates, openings, the mold problems, everything that's concerning about the STEM school.
The school will be open September 5th for the first day. We're tremendously excited about this initiative, Sam. The Hazleton Area Academy of Sciences. It's a STEM high school. We'll begin with grades 9 through 11. Following year, it'll be 9 through 12. This is a high school that's really, really unique for students that are interested in careers, 21st century careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's going to be a learning environment quite unlike any other environment that we may be familiar with back in the day when we went to school. We will have students working with business and industry and higher education partners, identifying and solving real-world problems that could lead to an improvement in the quality of life for us locally as well as globally. I can give you some examples. During our pilot program at the high school last year, our partnership with Commonwealth Medical College, we had freshman and sophomore students, 10 Saturdays, and we send up 2 different cohorts over a 20-week period, working with medical college teaching faculty, medical school students in their medical labs on projects. What a tremendous opportunity for a student interested in such a career. We have partnerships with Penn State Hazleton, Luzerne County Community College. Again, another example, Penn State Hazleton will be offering with their professors, the chair of their engineering department will be teaching on site at the Academy of Sciences, entry-level college freshman engineering courses that our students can take and earn full college credit. During the pilot, we've had students that have already earned 6 college engineering credits that they can use eventually at Penn State University or any university that accepts Penn State's engineering credits. We have a tremendous partnership with PPL. They are providing scholarship money for the students that are financially distressed and may need help in paying for the course costs. And I may add, Penn State is offering these courses to our students at 1/4 the tuition rate. And again, with PPL's help, the students that need that financial aid will have it available to them. So it's an exciting place. We can't wait to start. I wish I were a student all over again, because that's where I would want to be.
Is this something that's common in the state of Pennsylvania?
It isn't. It's very, very unique in the state and, quite frankly, in the country. We've had folks from as far away as California come visit us and take a look at what we're doing to see if they can replicate what we're doing here in California. Again, the partnerships with business and higher ed really make this a special place, a special learning environment. All of the work will be, as I said, project-based. The students will still be doing research and still writing papers, but again, it'll be related to the projects.
And all the mold situation is taken care of.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even an issue.
We move on to the magnet school, okay? Let's talk about the magnet school a little bit. What's the future of the magnet school as far as the arts are concerned?
Again, we have a committee of administrators and teachers examining that concept. We feel that that is a viable concept and something that we hope to develop. The question now becomes location, but programmatically, we feel it's another strong offering for our students.
For the benefit of some of the viewers, okay, explain what a magnet school is.
Well, it's a school that'll specialize in a specific curriculum to draw students who may be interested in that specific curriculum as an eventual career path.
So hence the word magnet school.
Correct.
Okay. The Maple Manor Elementary Middle School, okay, Bishop Hafey, what's the progress there?
We've begun work at Maple Manor Elementary Middle School. Again, we're excited about that project. It is scheduled to be complete for September of 2014, and we're very optimistic, Sam, that that'll relieve some of the overcrowding conditions, specifically in our city schools and at West Hazleton.
The cost, Tony, to buy Bishop Hafey, what was it?
We paid $5.5 million to purchase Bishop Hafey.
Okay. What will end up being the total cost for that building when everything is said and done?
We opened bids in June, went through architects, solicited bids, and the bid amounts total about $16.2 million for the construction there. So you have the 16.2 plus the 5.5, plus we call soft costs, our architect engineering fees, permit fees, all the other fees associated. We're probably looking in the $23 million range for turnkey at that location.
All right, now, as an investor, looking at that particular school and what the school district paid and what it's going to cost when it's totally done, is that a good investment for the Hazleton area school taxpayers? And if it is, why?
The biggest thing with that location and facility is the location to our campus. We really finished off our campus with the fourth building there. We got along with it, the athletic fields, so Mr. Barletta is actually using them until we renovate them. So we got so much for our money, being the location was right next to our building. As Dr. Antonelli said, we're looking to pull from the West Hazleton and the Castle and the other city schools. We still have modular classrooms at these facilities, West Hazleton having the most modular classrooms. I think there's about 6 or 8 classrooms up at West Hazleton.
So there's no doubt the school was needed. You needed,
Yes.
Okay. So, and if you would had to build from scratch, you'd have to find property first of all, and then you'd have to build from scratch, and then you'd have to transport these students to that particular school.
Yes.
So, building a school of that nature right now would run into what?
It really depends on your design. You know, it could,
Ballpark.
I'd say a minimum what we're spending on that for a new building, but most likely you hear schools being $30, $40 million.
Yeah. So all the way around, do you feel it was a good investment?
I do.
Okay. Let's talk about the magnet school. Okay. How much was that? And
That was about $4.4 million when we purchased it.
Yeah.
We opened bids last year. Our construction costs there is going to be somewhere around $7 million. Then plus the soft costs that I talked about, we're looking between probably $12 to $13 million there for the magnet school turnkey.
And why do you think that's a good investment for the Hazleton area?
Well, I think it helped reduce the size on our campus. You know, it's pulling out students 9 through 12, so we're seeing some relief there in all three buildings, the Career Center, the ninth grade center, and the high school.
Okay. How are we doing with our overcrowding, Frank?
Well, again, we're addressing it with our building expansion projects, and we're doing fine.
Now we know we have a huge Hispanic market, population in our area. How many Hispanic, percentages do you think we have in the Hazleton Area School District right now? Is it up there pretty high?
Our minority percentage is roughly 40%.
It's growing every year.
It is, but I have to say, Sammy, that I'm very, very proud of all our students and our teachers in all our buildings. You know, the high school, tremendous results. Our elementary, middle schools. For instance, at our high school, Hazleton Area High School last year, we had 19 students take the Advanced Placement Calculus test. Out of those 19, 18 scored a perfect 5. The 19th, 4 out of 5. At the Hazleton Career Center, we've had students that have placed nationally. Taylor Sist in the Skills USA competition came in 6th in the nation in technical drawing. Brianna Generos, HOSA competition, which is Health Occupation Students of America, came in 2nd in the state of Pennsylvania in a prepared speech. Our FBLA club, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Future Business Leaders of America, our high school club, Hazleton Area High School, has the largest membership in the state of Pennsylvania, the 3rd largest membership in the entire United States. And in fact, one of our students, Morgan Starr, is the state president of FBLA. Tremendous accomplishments by all of our teaching faculty throughout all of our buildings. I'm very proud of our students.
Folks, I'm talking to Frank Antonelli, Superintendent of the Hazleton Area School District, and Tony Ryba, who is the business manager. We come back, let's talk about, we hear about the SAT scores, the Hazleton area being, not really up to par. What's happening there? We're going to talk about the course standards, the rewriting of the curriculum, and also, folks, I want to address the administration. I want to address where the school board is. And I had said on the show that when I interviewed Chief DeAndrea, that there are some school board members still trying to micromanage, causing, in my opinion, a problem. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us, folks. I'm Sam Lesante. You're watching the Sam Lesante Show, and the official sponsor for the Sam Lesante Show is GreatSpringWater.com, folks. Official water of SSP TV and Samson Productions. They sell this. You get a 5-gallon, 4-gallon, or individual water. They have the best water. It says here, it's like good but better, and believe me, folks, it is. And also, folks, remember, 24/7, you can watch us anytime, anywhere in the entire world. All of our shows are there, our news, the girls all around the town, etc. They're all on our website. My guest today, Frank Antonelli, Superintendent of the Hazleton Area School District, and Tony Ryba, the business manager. You can't get any higher people than that, okay, other than the president of the school board. Frank, we talk about scores, and sometimes, people wonder why why they're down or up. And are we in average with the state as far as our...
Well, there's always room for improvement in each and everything we do in the Hazleton Area School District. We constantly examine what we do and how we do it. With regards to the test scores, the SATs, for instance, Sammy, many students will begin taking the SAT as early as the freshman or sophomore year, and they'll take the test multiple times, but they only have to report it once. So if they only report the first score and they don't report the second or third score as they improve, you can get skewed results.
All right. Let's talk about rewriting the curriculum to align with the Pennsylvania core standards. Explain that to what that's all about.
Well, again, the Pennsylvania core standards really incorporate the most rigorous standards from the Pennsylvania academic standards, which we were previously using to write curriculum, and the National Common Core. So they take the best of both worlds to come up with rigorous standards to ensure that our students will be prepared for 21st century colleges, universities, and/or job market.
Now, we had a couple incidences that happened, one major one, which was the bullying on the bus, okay? How are you dealing with these sort of problems, which I thought was disgraceful?
And I agree. I saw the video, and I was very, very upset. And we are addressing these problems, and I want to assure everyone most aggressively. We are filing charges, multiple charges, against the students involved. And we are also addressing writing privileges for the students involved. We have filed charges on approximately 19 students, and we're waiting for 17 others to return to the area. They're out of the area presently, and once they return, we know who they are, and we will be filing against those 17. The thing that is most disturbing for me is these students were aged 3rd grade through 6th grade.
Yes, it is disturbing. I'm hoping that, you know, there's lessons to be learned here. Looking at the operation of the Hazleton Area School District, you know, that's the highest tax we pay, of course. When you get your school tax, there are people who do not even send children to school, and property owners get hit with the tax. I want to ask you a question, Tony, all right? And I said in the beginning of the show, my job is to inform, and people think I have an agenda. I do not have an agenda. I welcome anyone with opposing viewpoints anytime. But the state of Pennsylvania, okay, is it a fact that you are getting the most amount of money than you ever got from the state?
Our state money, and the answer is yes. We receive what they call our state basic ed subsidy. That's our largest state subsidy that we get. The two largest funding sources is the basic ed subsidy and our real estate taxes. They're our two largest.
Okay. So it would seem to me, and I know I'm always talking about pushing Corbett, and I have to give the man, just like Frank, you're doing a great job as a superintendent. Whether I like you or dislike you, I have to agree that, you know, I may not like you personally, which I do, but I'm
like
saying,
you too.
okay. But the point is, when you talk this, I want to get politics out of the district here. All right. So we are now getting the most amount of money than we ever got. I talked to Tara Toohill, Representative Tara Toohill, last night. And I wanted to confirm that, because when President Obama was in last week, okay, on this so-called BS tour, as far as I'm concerned, he said that, you know, he threw a jab at Corbett, threw a jab at the Republicans, saying they're not concerned about education, which is totally, totally wrong and false. We're getting more money now than we ever got, okay? I see politics being played again, and that's what gets people disgusted. Now, you got an additional $1.5 million, right?
Yes, just to give you a quick comment, we tightened our belts a little in the first 2 years of the Corbett administration. We saw some freezes in our allocations. This year, the 3rd year, we did receive an increase. We budgeted for about between a $600,000 and a $700,000 increase. Actually, in the 11th hour, and they approved their budget after we approved our budget, we were told that we were getting about a $1.1 million additional allocation. We fit into a category that it was for certain school districts and certain enrollments, and we happened to fit into that. We did get about $1.7 million more, but we did budget about 600 of that already.
Okay. So, but now going back to the stimulus money, that was a one-time shot, okay, that the state got.
We received it. It was a one-time, but they actually spread it over 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So
but that was stimulus. That was a stimulus because, you know, you hear, well, this is what, you know, what we had before, but that was stimulus money. If they privatized the liquor stores, okay, and I don't know where it's at right now, I understand when you went down to Harrisburg, okay.
Correct.
What was the Hazleton Area School District getting when they
$7.6 million.
$7.6 million. It would be a one-time, but
over 4 years.
Over 4 years, okay. So therefore, we would get 7 points, and then probably not knowing how that would work with additional budgets, with the revenue that they'll generate from privatizing the liquor stores, okay. Now, so that's up in the air right now.
Correct. It hinges upon the governor being successful with the privatization.
Now, what would you do? How would that money be distributed for the taxpayers?
There was several ways we could spend it. We were looking at it, and some of them actually fit right in with what we're doing. One was a STEM initiative, which Dr. Antonelli explained to you. We could use the entire allocation for STEM education. There was a security portion of it. You can use it towards security operations. There was 4 or 5. I don't have all of them with me, but there was 4 or 5 ways we could spend the money.
Okay. So, would this be a relief to the taxpayers somehow?
It would. It would go into our general fund budget, and we would be able to use it for any of those various sources that we're actually using unallocated funds for now.
Because right now, what you have a lot of people who are retired, or I say seniors, but however, there's some people that get the property taxes. They don't want to lose their homes, and they're paying higher taxes. So that's why I think it's so important that we have to have the faith and trust in administrators who's administrating our money. Okay. Which now brings me to another subject, and you do not have to answer some of these questions because I understand the school board, they're your boss. However, I'm the firm believer of that the school board should set policies. They should be concerned about finances. They should be concerned about education. They should be concerned about that, and that's their job. Their job is to see that our school district is being run properly, okay? And they say to you, Mr. Antonelli, this is what we want for our education, this is what we want here, and we want to monitor that and make sure you're doing your job. And Mr. Ryba, here's your finances. I don't want you going, you have to manage this properly. Then you report to the school board on a monthly basis, and you give your reports, okay? So far, am I correct in that area?
Yes.
Okay, now, when I begin to get involved, which some school board members have, for example, the story is when they were hiring a coach a while back, there were 4 people from the school district, 2 school board members. The 4 people who were actually in the school board, working in the school district, recommended a certain coach. The 2 school board members wanted somebody else. They asked the 4 people to leave the room, then they came back and said, we're hiring this person. They said, wait, it's 4-2. They said, well, you're not school board directors, we are. That is only one of many things that are happening, that have happened. So, Frank, are they micromanaging you?
No.
Okay. So
They have an interest in education, and they certainly have an interest in children. And they're doing what they feel is best in their own heart. Do we disagree? Absolutely. But that's what makes it interesting.
okay. Tony, did they interfere with you?
I want to say no. I've been in this position since '99, about 14 years now, and since I went into the position, I had a philosophy of providing as much information as I can. So we overload everybody with information. We try to. So we just try to get everything out there so everybody's informed.
Okay, so you're being kind, and I appreciate that. The second thing is, are school board members involved in any of the interviews of the teachers?
No.
Do they sit in any of the interviews?
No.
Okay.
We just completed actually 2 rounds of interviews, administrators and teachers.
Okay, so now what happens is, so you do the interviewing, and then you go and make the recommendation to the school board.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so we'll let it stay at that. Micromanaging, to me, is always a problem, okay? Because what happens is you have enough on your plate right now, and you have enough on your plate to do. You know what your objective is, so you want to achieve that. Despite the fact that we have, and I have additional facts, I'm not going to bring them up right now. I'm going to bring them up closer to election, because there are certain school board members that really are playing games. Nothing personal, but I'll bring those up around the end of October when it's fresh in people's minds. The other thing is, when you're looking at administering, your administration, your teachers, your aides, everyone in the second to none. I've said this over the years.
I agree.
The teachers are absolutely and I was a teacher. I wouldn't want to be a teacher today, I'm being honest with you, because they have tons of stress on them. And I always ask the community, support the teachers, because they need that to support. Would you agree, Frank?
Our Our teaching staff is tremendous, second to none. And it's not only the teachers in the front lines, it's also the behind-the-scenes personnel, our aides, our cafeteria workers, our custodial staff, the energy and the enthusiasm that all these folks bring to their jobs each and every day really makes a difference. And the kids sense it, the kids know how much they care, and it makes for a great environment for our students.
And when we were talking before we came on the air, you made a statement about Tony Ryba and said, I won't say the bad thing. He didn't say. I'm only kidding. He said one of the best business managers we have. And Tony, you know, not because you're sitting here, but you are. You're doing a great job, and you have a great team. You have a great team, etc. And you know, that's those are the great shining light, positive things. That's why I'm always concerned about some of the negative things that could hurt all these positive things that we're doing, and I don't want to see that. Frank, thanks for coming on the show. Anything you want to say in closing?
Thanks for having us. You've always been good to the Hazleton Area School District, and we'd be happy to come back at any time.
I appreciate it. Tony, can we?
My pleasure.
Give my best to your families.
Thank
Folks,
you.
You're watching the Sam Lesante Show. Remember I said, folks, we're going to do with facts. Interesting thing, folks, why am I upset with President Obama? Because he stated last week when he was in the area that education, that Corbett should pay attention to education. It's wrong. The Corbett is giving the most amount of money ever in the state of Pennsylvania. So you tell me where that's wrong. And I don't care whether he's Republican or Democrat. It doesn't make any difference to me. But folks, don't play politics like they're playing politics. And incidentally, Mr. Obama, how come Lackawanna County, your town, the great town of Scranton, is one of the highest in unemployment? Okay, don't you think Biden and all the people who are so close to the president should be getting some more jobs in that area? I think so. We'll see you next time.